Hello my friends and welcome back. It is Friday, my dudes, so you and I, we survived another week, and it's a big important Friday because today Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin are meeting in Alaska with their delegations. This is big news, but also massive news comes from the front, and we begin with it. What? We begin with the news that says on the title, as the first on this channel. But yes, my friends, we're gonna talk about first, before we go to the negotiations, we're gonna talk about the Dobropillia breakthrough that the Russians did about 1.5 weeks ago, or managed to pull off. Then Ukrainians deployed the first Azov Corps, which consists of 5 best Ukrainian brigades that there are, and of course, and they're pushing back, and supposedly they have cut off this breakthrough. So this Russian success that crossed the Donetsk defensive line, also in the depth about 15 clicks behind Ukrainian lines, is supposedly now cut off from the main Russian army, making it a massive failure. Let's go through all of the information. Situation in the Dobropillia-Bakrovsk direction. The Ukrainian reserves have stabilized the risky Dobropillia breakthrough. The first Azov Army Corps neutralized most Russian assault groups in the sector. Russian reconnaissance and sabotage groups are being efficiently detected and eliminated. The Russians failed to fortify or concentrate mechanized reserves or further attacks. Though stable, the situation remains challenging, with likely renewed Russian pressure and formation of a new strike group to target Ukrainian defenses. And looking at this map, you can kind of see visualized here how units are deployed to the front. Each unit has their own respective area that they are responsible for, forming in a way bubbles. Unit bubbles that cover certain areas of the front. Now, the most weakest links usually in any army on the front are the connection point between two units, two bubbles, because these areas are the hardest to cover. By the way, if you're thinking that I look a little bit off, yes, I have a flu. I'm sick. And everything for me right now is in slow motion, including everything that happens here. So forgive me, maybe I have to speed up this video for you. But it's very important days, that this is why I came in today. More information on this Dobropillia breakthrough turned into Dobropillia failure for Russians. Beware of the Russian and pro-Russian so-called fakes. The Ukrainian army is not on the verge of collapse, and at this stage, Russia's rapid advance in depth is impossible. Russia's tactic is to send hundreds of soldiers behind enemy lines over the course of weeks, set up ambushes, and after receiving reinforcements, establish control over the territory, as happened near Dobropillia. Over 200 Russian occupiers have been killed or wounded near Dobropillia, indicating a significant concentration of infantry forces. The advance in depth did not develop as rapidly as predicted. Anti-tank trenches stop armored vehicles and motorcycle, but not infantry. These reports are coming out every day almost now. Although we lack videos and photos, Azov is really good with their OPSEC. They don't release anything. We will get videos, but in like 1 or 2 weeks. They will not release anything early. But this photo supposedly comes from the Russian military blogger Telegram channel, and it does not look good. Again, it's arrows on a map from a random Telegram channel, so take it with a grain of salt. But it's one of the informations that is flowing out there, so I'll let you know about it. But again, take it with a grain of salt. 16 kilometers to Dobropillia are sitting without evacuation, food, water, and under attack from the Ukrainian armed forces from all sides. And on this map, somebody has drawn an arrow that has cut off the Dobropillia breakthrough. That everybody was afraid. I called it the bunny rabbit ears right here. It's called cut off. Now again, I'm not here to claim that it's now surrounded, this breakthrough unit, but there is information flowing that suggests it, so you have to make up your own mind about it. I just let you know what is being talked about. But we do have first videos about Russian POWs taken from this breakthrough. You can see the breakthrough here on the map. Following Russia's surprise raid, 15 clicks past frontline fortifications in Donetsk region, Ukrainian rapid response led by Azov eliminated 151 Russian soldiers, wounded over 70 and captured 8 in the pocket in the past 48 hours. And that was already 2 days ago. So now the numbers are, of course, already very different. But we got videos of at least 5 different POWs taken from this breakthrough area. And this is visual confirmation that this is not going so good for the Russians. See, frontal breakthroughs can be very, very decisive if they're fortified immediately and used properly in a blitzkrieg way like the Third Reich did usually. That was their whole mobile warfare tactic. But with this specific breakthrough, yes, Russians managed to get 15 clicks behind Ukrainian lines, but they failed to reinforce that breakthrough, giving a huge present to the Ukrainians, who are now able to cut off this unit of infantry, which is a few hundred men, and then without water, food, surrounded by 3-4 sides of hostile units. I mean, they will be gone. They will push up sunflowers soon. Russian soldiers have been vaping so carelessly lately that the number of barbecues in Russia has skyrocketed. Oh, if they only would have fume, then their oil refineries would not spontaneously combust that often. No vapor, no nicotine, just flavor. Fume is an award-winning flavor air device that delivers great taste without any harmful chemicals. Instead of inhaling vapor, you simply breathe in natural, non-toxic flavors that satisfy the craving without the downside. Yummy. Not like the carelessly vaping Ivan in Russia, enjoying the heat from the burning oil refineries. Psychology shows that stopping a bad habit of cold turkey is very hard on your brain. Fume works by replacing your hand-to-mouth fixation, calming nervous tension through fidgeting, and distracting you from your bad habit with a delicious flavor. You know who else could use the distraction? The whole Russian army, so they would behave. Sleek, portable, built to last, designed with a high quality build and a sleek aesthetic, Fume feels premium in your hand and is easy to take anywhere. Whether you're at work, traveling, or just relaxing at home. Over 500,000 people have already made the switch to Fume as part of their habit change journey. If you're ready to try it for yourself, now's the time. For a limited time, if you order the journey pack using my code Estonian, you'll get a free Fume topper, an awesome accessory to level up your experience. Click the link tryfume.com/Estonian or scan the QR code on the screen to get yours today. Thank you Fume for sponsoring today's video. Now, if you're wondering why did the Russians fail to fortify this specific breakthrough, what I mean by fortify is push an insane amount of armored vehicles in, push in drone units and logistics. Well, because the quality of these Russian troops who are sent to do these operations is not the best. And you can see the quality right here. I present to you the lowest of the low in the Russian army. This is not a soldier. I mean, in a way it is, but it's more like a meatbag, only not dead yet. Look at it. Russian troops carried to the front with chains attached to the arms. They are literally chained to the truck. So they are soldiers, but they're prisoners of the army system. They're not prisoners of the civilian judiciary system, not from the prisons. They were in the army, but perhaps they drank too much, got into some fights, did some drugs, and now they have been pushed to the lowest, which is, you'll be chained to the truck, pushed to the front, and then pushed exactly to operations like this Dobropillia breakthrough, which is take a Russian flag, take a few magazines of ammunition, no food, no water, and go. Few hundred troops are sent like that. They get behind enemy lines, and then they're left there. I mean, there's nothing you can do. You're not going to fortify that breakthrough. That's what happened. This is the guys. We have visual proof of the quality of these meatbags. They're not the best quality troops, and now these guys are possibly pushing up sunflowers somewhere. By the way, you might also have questions, how do Russians get men to go to war if you see videos like this? Well, the issue is same as in Ukraine, nobody really wants to go. both countries have massive issues with recruiting new manpower to the army. Yes, Russia has issues with manpower. It's difficult to understand since they have such a large population, but that's the truth. So what they do is they have these massive factories and factory systems. They recruit from there. And usually men already know that it's recruiting day, they don't go to work that day or whatever. But in this specific instance, what the Russian recruiters figured out, they can use Ukraine as a helper in this way. They played a UAV threat alarm in this factory, so everybody, every male worker, because usually it's male workers, ran outside, lined up, and then recruiters came up. It wasn't a UAV threat, it was recruiting day. And they handed them military enlistment notices, which by the Russian judiciary system, if you're handed that, physically handed that, it means you have received it. And now by law, you are forced to show up in a military enlistment office. And usually from there, you were pushed to the front. So these guys are now, by law, forced to go to war straight from the factory, deceived to go outside and line up by a UAV threat that wasn't really real, and now you gotta go to war. So this is Russia. This is how they get their meat. My friends, now a little light-hearted news for you. If you were traveling in Moscow with the public transportation, then you might have heard this message. I'll read it to you. It was played on most of the buses and subways in Moscow by loudspeakers. Attention, Ukraine threatens to nuke us. Everybody take shelter. And everybody heard this. Everyone is just sitting like that. It's just a light-hearted prank by the Ukrainian hackers to the Russians, because of course everybody knows Ukraine does not have nukes right now. I would say unfortunately. But yeah, I mean, they are able to hack Moscow public transportation, then it might tell you that they're able to hack a lot more. And now, my friends, I think you have been waiting for it because it's a big part of every one of my videos lately, the oil refinery bingo. Do you have your bingo cards ready? Are you ready to get the bingo and win this competition? Well, in August, Ukraine continued to strike Russian oil refineries because they took a little break after Donald Trump was really trying to save out the Russians by telling the Ukrainians, don't do it. Don't strike their oil refineries. Well, now Ukrainians are doing it again. And already in August, we have plenty of footage to continue our bingo game that was stopped by Trump a few months ago. Russian oil refineries having a very difficult month, with 20% of the country's refining capacity already targeted. August the 2nd. Novokuybyshevsk refinery, Ryazan refinery. August 7th, Afipsky refinery. Forgive me, my brain is in slow motion right now. I mean, it's really difficult to do that with the flu. August 10th, Saratov refinery. August 14th, Volgograd refinery. And by the way, since so many refineries were hit, Russian authorities were having issues with locals sharing a lot of footage, like this one you see on the screen. I mean, just people taking videos of burning oil infrastructure, so that they cut off the internet in some areas where the refineries are, just to stop the spread of these videos. And you can just see in this video the stark difference or contrast. You look outside the window in your home and you see a burning oil refinery. Bear in mind, internet is cut off in this area. Burning oil refinery, 2 different areas got hit, and then you turn to the screen, TV, Russia 1, shows you just dancing babas and singing babas, playing garmoshka, or this is accordion, I think. The stark contrast of what's really happening in Russia. Like, this is what you see on the TV, and when you look outside the window, you see a burning country. But we actually haven't talked about yesterday's strikes. Yesterday, Ukraine struck 2 oil refineries in Russia. The first one was the Lukoil refinery in Volgograd. it was severely struck. Several pictures and videos show that the oil facility is burning, and it is confirmed by the NASA firm's map. The refinery produces 14.5 million tons in oil products yearly, and it's the 7th time already that this specific facility has been struck. Since it's so big and massive, Ukraine is striking it after like every 2 months. They strike, they assess the damage, it still works, they strike again. But yeah, it is in the top 5 Russian oil refineries by size. And just to go through the footage with you, these are all photos of the Lukoil refinery, and these are all made by Russians driving by it. As I was telling, authorities have real issue with these photos leaking online all the time, so they cut off the internet in some areas. But I mean, there's so many people filming this stuff that you cannot really cut off all of the information. Again, bear in mind how massive these refinery areas are. Look from the satellite imagery. This square here you see, it's all a refinery area, the refining factory area, or whatever you want to call it. So the refining tower or distillation tower, sorry if I make wrong words here, it's a very specific tower that is like the heart of the refinery. If you strike that, you take majority of this area out of action, but you don't have to burn the entire area. You just gotta take out the heart of the refinery and boom, everything stops. By the way, one more, and this is the last one in this video. Syzran refinery was struck. Eyewitnesses report that at least 10 UAVs hit this Russian oil refinery facility, which is around 800 kilometers, 500 miles from the current front line. Massive fires can be seen on video, and this annual production rate is 8.9 million tons. You can see the video also. And you can see there's a lot of Banielka's apartment buildings right here and houses here also. I mean, you can cut the internet, but like all these people have mobile phones. It's like already in this video, you can see homes of few thousand people just on this picture here. Everybody has a phone. They're all filming this stuff and talking about it. So in Russia, when this stuff happens, like people talk, okay, we had a massive explosion, massive fire, Ukrainian drones. Russian authorities have a real issue with that, since this information really weakens them, their image internally. Now, my friends, our butchers and Buy Me a Coffee monthly members, and with this next name, I somehow missed your name and you wrote to me an email. Also, if you write to me and buy me a coffee, I'll immediately react. So if you feel you're the same way that I have missed your name, please write to me a message and buy me a coffee. I'll butcher your name as fast as I can. This guy wrote me an email, and here you go. Anthony Mira, American. American is not part of your name, I know, but you are American. So thank you very much for the support. But that's not it. We have more names, starting with Cordon Hiiumaa. Hiiumaa again being the second biggest island in Estonia. So you take a wild guess where this guy lives. Thank you, Cordon. Someona. Yes. Morgan Kirling. Barbara Voit. Voit in Estonian means victory. Voit. Without the wavy thing on top. Yeah, it's a nice name. It could be Estonian name. Russians lost another Su-30SM fighter bomber. The Ukrainian Navy intercepted signals which suggest that the Su-30SM crashed somewhere southeast from the Snake Island. Russian search and rescue operations are going on, but this is firmly under Ukrainian control part of the Black Sea, and if it was lost there, they're not gonna find it. They did find debris though, so it's quite safe to claim that this plane is gone. Fighter bomber, one of the biggest Russian telegram channels, military telegram channels, already says eternal flight, brother. Every time he says eternal flight connected to any kind of aviation losses, it means by his eyes the guy's gone. Like sleeping with the fishes, as you say. So yeah, I can claim it here. Russian Su-30 SM bomber is now turned into a submarine and sleeping with the fishes. And now, finally, my friends, we get to the negotiations. I have been dreading this topic, the negotiations between Trump and Putin. Now, by the time I'm making this video, I have only one video of Lavrov getting out of a car in Alaska. By the time you are watching it, you know a lot more. I've seen a lot more. So forgive me, this video for you is a bit out of date. But I have no, like, by this, the timing is so off. I mean, they're just right now talking and no videos have been released yet. And you see it, everything has been released. So this first video is a video filmed by the Russian delegation. Right now they are lifting off from Russia. Since it's such a big event, the members of the delegation and their aides actually all filmed this stuff because it's such a big deal to fly to US from Russia right now. Like it's hard to describe how massive of a deal this is for the Russian officials. They're filming it. They're so proud that they're being given this chance. Look at it. They're so happy flying from Moscow to Alaska. Bear in mind, this is not Putin's plane. This is the delegation and their aides and translators and all of that stuff. They're so like riled up about it. They talk about it because for them it is a big gift from Trump to save the Russian image from political isolation in the world, to give them stage on the United States soil. It saves them from the isolation. Now they're landing. See? They're landing on American soil. Such a weird thing to witness, honestly. So these are the guys who are going to be talking. By the time I'm making this video, they should be physically talking already. And by the time you see it, you know much more than I do right now. Trump, J.D. Vance, Marco Rubio, Steve Witkoff, Scott Bessent. And then on the Russian side, on the red side, we have Vladimir Putin, Sergei Lavrov, Yuri Ushakov, Andriy Belousov, Anton Siluanov, Kirill Dmitriev. So it's heavy hitters versus heavy hitters. There's no trash here. Everybody is like highest of the high in the country. So it's a WWE match of the century. Imagine if these guys would actually fight each other. That would be a lot of fun. I would definitely pay to watch that. Again, these are the Russian heavy hitters on the red corner, waiting for the bell to charge. I only have this one video of Sergei Lavrov getting out of his car on Alaskan soil already. And like you have much more, but the thing is, he get out of his car. I want to show you. Damn it. Let me get you a nice... So, this is Lavrov, Russian foreign minister. He's wearing SSSR, which is Soviet Union, USSR in English, shirt. Going to Alaska with SSSR shirt. It's a clear message to Trump, I think. Yeah, because Trump visited Soviet Union, you know. They're playing like mind games here. By the way, at this time when they are in Alaska, Putin Yugend, I'm not kidding you, I did not make a wrong word here. Putin Yugend, the Russian youth, you know, the militaristic youth, released this song and they're singing, and let's watch it together. Sevastopol is ours, and Crimea, will preserve them for our descendants. These are children, by the way. We will return Alaska to our motherland. So at the time they are on the American soil by the gift of Trump, their children are singing that we will take Alaska from the US and give it back to Russia. We return it to the motherland. So just let that sink in for a moment. And Trump allows this to happen. They openly state it. And to us from the northern seas to the southern borders, bear in mind, these kids, what are they, like 10, 15 years old? In 10 years, all of them are ready to be the next meatbags in the next war. If it's against Estonia, then I'll be fighting against these kids in 10 years. That's the harsh reality. There's no illustrating it. They will be the next soldiers to invade Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, Finland, Poland, or Ukraine in the next war. These very same faces you see right here in 10 years. All of these, from the Kuril Islands to the Baltic shores, to the Baltic shores. These kids are being prepared for meat assaults right now with these songs. We have a AI made video of what would be my personal favorite outcome of Putin's visit to Alaska, and I want to watch it with you because I just enjoyed it so much. Look at that, entering Alaska. We have Putin's entourage, Putin's car, Mr. Putin inside the car. And who do we have here? We have a lone sniper looking suspiciously familiar, huh? Because it's Mr. Budanov. Budanov is like White Death from Finland here. Taking the shot, bada bing, bada boom. For sleeping with the fishes, pushing up sunflowers. The world is now a better place. Thank you, Budanov. All right, my friends, I'll take you back to Anchorage city in Alaska, where good people of America show their support. No kings, Ukrainian flags everywhere. Putin abducted almost 20,000 Ukrainian kids. All of these messages out there. So if you are part of the Russian delegation driving through this, you will see what your country is responsible for. And thank you, people of Alaska, United States of America, and Anchorage, for showing your minds, what you stand for. I'm with you on this, 100%. My friends, this is it. I'll say it again that if you watch this video, you have a lot more information, so it's going to feel out of date. So don't be mad about that. It's just the timing is so off with this specific news here. But please, when you do have free time and you don't have nothing to do and you wanna get some good stories and humor, then 8 missions in Ukraine. I know the picture looks very warlike, but actually it's a lot of humor and personal stories and fun and light-hearted tales that happened in Ukraine. It's not like war and serious stuff. I figure I should have put some other photo on the cover because a lot of people are afraid of it. I should have put like more humorous photo. Go and get the book, links in the description below. And until my next video, my friends, Slava Ukraini, and bye-bye. Thank you, Fume, for sponsoring today's video.